City, Adam 1, affirmative, go ahead.
Hello everyone, I'm Ryan Johansen, your Chief of Police here in San Bruno, and just wanted to send out a quick message to talk a little bit about where we're at with the shelter-in-place order and specifically about your police department's enforcement posture as it relates to the shelter-in-place order. First I'd like to take just a quick moment to stress my level of how impressed I am with the way this community has responded to these really difficult circumstances. I think that we've had a very high level of compliance with some difficult requirements in the shelter-in-place order, and as a result, we're starting to see a little light at the end of the tunnel, which is pretty exciting, and my hat's off to all of you for the part you've played in doing that. That being said, I know that, as we all go about our daily business and this kind of new normal for the time being, it's easy to see that it appears that people around us, or not all people around us, are complying with the shelter-in-place orders. And I know that your police department plays a role in increasing compliance and trying to protect all of us in these difficult times. I will say that the posture of the police department as it pertains to enforcement has not changed, which is that we believe strongly that the right way to handle these circumstances is through a posture of persuasion and education of the public as to what the orders are and the importance of following them, rather than taking a posture of strict enforcement of the orders, which can be challenging and also probably is not necessary given the way that things work in our community. That being said, there are times in which enforcement is going to be appropriate, and I wanted to touch a little bit on the role that you as the public play in helping us to kind of gauge that and handle it. To be quite frank, there are a number of violations of the shelter-in-place order that we would like the public's help in reporting so that we can address them. But these are the more egregious violations that are a little bit easier for us to take on as a police department with all of the other things that we have going on. Some examples, of course, would be large-scale gatherings in public places. Big parties at parks and things of that nature are certainly concerning. Large-scale construction projects that involve big crews of people and appear to be non-essential or unnecessary. These are the kinds of things that we would like for you to call and notify your police department about. Another example might be an essential business like a restaurant or a grocery store in which really there's just no regard for the social distancing parameters at all, and where you really need the police department's help to kind of get these businesses on board and helping to protect us all while staying open. However, there are some examples of things that, while you will see them day to day, really there's no point in reporting to the police department, either because the violations are very minor or difficult to prove, or because they are just a real drain on resources because of their volume, or they're transitory in nature and difficult for us to come across. Some examples of this would be calling in people who aren't wearing masks. Quite frankly, there are some specific terms under which people are not required to wear masks under this shelter-in-place order. And so calling in to report seeing someone on the street who wasn't wearing a mask really doesn't serve very much purpose and can be a real drain on resources. Also calling in people who you believe from your observations simply do not appear to be complying with the shelter-in-place order, meaning that they're out and about for what doesn't appear to be essential business. This is obviously really, really difficult to prove and very difficult for us to respond to. Most of those folks will in fact be out for some essential or legitimate business such as exercise or obtaining supplies. And so we really would prefer if you not bother reporting those things to us. So if you see these more egregious violations and you want to report it to the police department so that we can help take care of all of us, the right way to do that is to call our non-emergency phone number. That's at 650-616-7100, as opposed to reporting it through any other medium. That will give us the most prompt response and the best ability to handle it appropriately. So I'll just close by kind of saying on a little bit of a more emotional note that I've been with your police department for about 15 years, and that means that I've been here in the city through a number of trying times, right? We're no stranger to challenge and we're no stranger to tragedy. I worked here as a detective during the pipeline explosion. I also worked here at the active shooter incident at YouTube and the shooting incident at Tanfran and countless other critical incidents that we've faced together as a community. And in each case, I've been nothing short of awed and inspired by the resiliency of this community and by its ability to get through these times by bonding together and taking care of one another. And I'm extremely confident that this will be no exception to that. So again, please don't hesitate to report the egregious violations to us, but Instead, let's try to put our primary focus on how we work together, take care of one another, encourage each other to comply with the orders, and get through this sooner rather than later. So thanks so much for taking a few moments to watch this video. I hope it was helpful, and you'll be hearing from me again soon. Thank you. Stay healthy.